So according to The Sims, we're going to receive another Sims 4 base game update. And some of the elements of this update appear to be designed to complement the upcoming African neighborhood in the Royalty and Legacy pack. And as we know, the game has been, and to an extent is still, missing cultural touches that are desperately needed. But this update particularly has added some categorization features in CAS, which has been suggested to make Africana themes easier to find and apply to our Sims. So let's check that out. We are in CAS. I have also loaded my mods because I want to see if the actual tags work with the afro hair I've got as like custom content. I'm not expecting it to, but it'd just be interesting. But we're gonna do over my lovely lady here, basically. Let's check the clothes first. So according to the updates, we should be able to see Africana in terms of style, because last time when I was on before the update, it definitely wasn't there. So we've got fashion choice, then we've got style, and we have our Africana. So let's see. Right, so that's okay for shirts. Like, that's cool. Let's see what they got for dresses. Do I have to do that for everything? I'm sure I don't have to do that for everything. Maybe I have to click Africana for everything. Right, long dresses. So I'm hoping that when we get the Royalty and Legacy pack, there's gonna probably be a lot more clothes and everything else, so that'll probably change. But I just want to see what else we've got as that comes under like Africana style. So we've got no Africana trousers, which isn't great, because to be honest, the last time I played this, or before the last time I played this, I didn't know about the West African update, so I was completely like out of the loop, and I only found out about this African update later. So this year in 26. So I haven't actually reviewed the West African update that they had last year. But I just thought this would be a good time to go through and see what they have. I don't think there's going to be much here for the style, to be honest, in terms of Africana. So that's fair enough. Let's go into the actual hair, because they've got a lot of afro hair textures in the first place on the base game. So hopefully we get the same. We're able to see the categorizations. That's what I mean. Hopefully we're able to see most of the hair in the afro textured categorization, which is cool. Okay, cool. So we already know as well, as I mentioned, you click curly, most of the afro hair textures come up in curly alongside the other afro hair textures. Do you get what I'm saying? So let's see what happens if we just click, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right, so it's about 28 curly textures. I don't know if that's the official number, but from what I'm counting, and that's to do the base game. So now let's see if we get afro hair textures, if there's any difference. Now, as I said, I think once we get this is interesting. I think if we get once we get the Royalty pack, we'll see more afro hair textures anyway. But you do have a wider range of stuff, which is interesting. I wouldn't call all of them stereotypical afro hair textures, but our hair comes in so many different textures, so I'm not knocking them for that. I'm glad that there's diversity. So I think what they've done is that the afro textured tag literally just filters all hair that is relating to or representing or resembling Afro diasporan cultures. Because for me, like, this isn't for everybody, but you can see here the afro texture. That's usually when you have like a blowout most of the time and then style it, which is cool. And I don't even know, where did this one come? See, this one was from, I think, is it the cottage one? The cottage game? I didn't even know that was there, to be honest. I've never actually seen that one. And this is going to be like a great hairstyle for one of my characters or one of my Sims that I play with in my save file. So I think there is a bonus. And this is new. I also recently got the Business and Hobbies pack, so there's new hairstyles I'm seeing anyway. But yeah, so I think in general, like, this tag that they've got is good, just to help you narrow down more afro hair textures. And for me, as I've said before, because, well, I don't know if I said it before, but anyway, I have a lot of Afrocentric gameplay in my Sims, so it makes it a lot easier just to filter out what I need most of the time for my characters or for my Sims that I play with. I call my Sims characters as well, I don't know why. But yeah, no, I think it's actually good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just play about and create another Sim, and yeah, we shall go back to the video. and the review. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, the updated features in CAS are helpful, but depending on how you feel about The Sims' recent attempts in inclusive practices, the updates highlight some strengths and flaws. So I'm going to come from two standpoints. First, an optimistic standpoint and, let's say, a realist standpoint. If I'm using an optimistic mindset, in terms of UI and UX principles, the Africana style tag and the Afro textured tag are useful features to have in CAS, particularly for simmers like myself whose gameplay is very Afrocentric. I will need to look into this more, but this feature can also be useful if it can be applied to modded CAS assets such as hair and clothes too. Now for the realist outlook. Now, I want to assume that the intent of the new tags is to be inclusive and make it easier for us to create inclusive gameplay. But the Africana tag and also the Afro textured hair tag could be seen as problematic. Hear me out. Having these tags makes it easier for us to filter certain types of clothes and certain types of hair, but it can also create a sense of othering. For instance, if I'm looking at this from a realist standpoint, the tags are basically saying, here are the main categorizations of certain hair textures and clothes, and here are the other sets of and clothes, which is completely different from the main section. And I'm not saying this to be a downer, I'm just saying that I was actually fine with the previous structure where Afro hair textures fell under curly hairstyles. And also a point that I want to make is that if the team really wanted to create these groups to be inclusive, then shouldn't this type of tagging be applied to multiple CAS assets? What I mean is, this kind of tagging could also be applied to skin details in CAS as well, but that's just an example. And also, shouldn't this type of tagging be applied to different types of clothes as well that exist in CAS already? My argument being is that the Africana tag for clothing can be seen as divisive. And for it not to be divisive, I'm hoping that the team are also considering having different clothes categorizations for different cultural clothes that exist within The Sims 4. Staying in the realm of a realist mindset, the team still has not delivered the actual Africana request that a lot of their stakeholders have asked for. That is a African world. I'm not going to waste your time and rant about their oversight in this video because you can catch these in my other videos on my channel. If you've seen my other videos, you know my view around the emergence of the supposed Afrocentric, or as the team like to say, Africana themes in the game. And if you haven't seen these, feel free to check them out after this video because the links are below. Based on the ongoing development of the franchise, I am starting to think that this omission of an African world is deliberate, but that's just my view. Nonetheless, the categorization updates in CAS are useful, given that it's a free update. Yes, it allows more players to see themselves and their heritage on screen, but to be fair, that wasn't a challenge in CAS. Many of us simmers want a world that reflects many aspects of African diasporan heritage. But I want to know what you think. Do these features help your Sims world become more inclusive? Which Africana textured hairstyle is your favourite from the base game? Let me know in the comments below. Either way, if you've enjoyed this quick review, please hit that like button because it really helps out the channel, and subscribe if you haven't already because I drop a lot of videos around Sims 4 news, Sims builds, and other story-driven gameplay. So I'm going to catch you in the next one, guys. Bye!